Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive, high-stakes transitional phase happening right now in India's fast bowling attack across all formats. If you've been keeping an eye on recent squad selections, you know there's a huge shift happening right under the surface. We're pivoting away from looking purely at franchise cricket flashiness and heading right back to the grueling, undeniable grind of the domestic circuit. So, get comfortable, because we're going to break down exactly what the selectors are looking for and why the path to the national team has fundamentally changed.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. We'll be hitting India's pace bowling crossroads, the veteran comeback dilemma, why Ranji matches matter, the injection of new blood with Auqib Nabi, and finally, the high stakes in Sri Lanka.
Section 1. India's pace bowling crossroads, finding the next generation of pacers.
For fans of franchise cricket, this is the burning question staring us right in the face. Is dominating the IPL really enough to secure a spot in the 50-over World Cup or a grueling test match? It's super tempting to think so, right? We see these guys tearing through batting lineups under the bright lights, winning championships, and we immediately want them on the World Cup squad. But the reality of longer format international cricket is just vastly different from a quick 2-month T20 sprint.
Former India opener Akash Chopra perfectly establishes the golden rule of fast bowling stamina here, pointing out exactly why T20 success doesn't automatically translate. As he says, when you don't play Ranji, your workload becomes limited. In ODI cricket, you have to bowl 10 overs and field for 50 overs. Think about that physical toll for a second. It's not just about bowling your quota, it's about staying out there on the field, maintaining your intensity, and managing your body for an entire day, match after match. Domestic red ball cricket is literally the ultimate proving ground for that kind of endurance.
Section 2. The Veteran Comeback Dilemma. The ticking clock for beloved stars.
Well, we have a really stark contrast between two absolute legends of the game right now. On one side, you have Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He played a huge role in RCB's back-to-back IPL title-winning campaigns. He looks phenomenal in T20s. But look at the data. He hasn't played a first-class match since January 2024, and his last List A game was way back in December 2023. On the flip side, you have Mohammad Shami. Shami has actively continued playing red ball cricket, throwing himself into the absolute rigors of the Ranji Trophy. So Bhuvi has the recent IPL heroics, sure, but Shami has the vital red ball miles on his legs.
Looking at Bhuvneshwar's timeline, he actually hasn't played an ODI since January 2022. Fast forward past his domestic absences, and we hit a very hard deadline. According to Chopra, the selectors are likely only going to take a maximum of one of these veterans forward, and the upcoming ODI series against New Zealand, which is in the next 4 to 6 months, is the absolute deadline. If neither is picked for that New Zealand series, the door for the 2027 World Cup is pretty much effectively closed. They need to be integrated right now to build up that sustained workload over the next year.
Section 3. Why Ranji matches matter. The ultimate litmus test.
This statement is blunt, but honestly, it's the core philosophy driving current selections. Preparing for a 50-over World Cup requires a level of sustained workload management that a 2-month T20 tournament simply cannot provide. You wouldn't judge a marathon runner by watching them run a 100-meter dash. No matter how exceptionally a bowler performs in those 4 overs of an IPL match, picking them for a grueling 50-over World Cup based on that alone is viewed by experts as a fundamental mistake. Which brings us to this number, 37. This is exactly why Mohammad Shami claims a significant edge in the comeback race, even though Bhuvi had an arguably better IPL season. Shami went out and picked up 37 wickets in the Ranji Trophy. He proved unequivocally that his body can still handle the relentless demands of longer formats. He put in the overs, he fielded the days, and he showed the selectors that his fitness foundation is built on solid red ball rock.
Section 4. New blood, Auqib Nabi. Replacing a giant.
Jammu and Kashmir's Auqib Nabi has just received his much-awaited maiden India call-up. And he isn't just filling any spot, he's replacing the injured Jasprit Bumrah in the test squad for the series against Sri Lanka. This is a monumental moment. The 29-year-old seamer from Baramulla is making history as only the second cricketer ever from Jammu and Kashmir to make the national side. Let's look at exactly why he got the nod over a host of IPL stars. Nabi claimed a staggering 104 wickets across the last 2 Ranji Trophy seasons. 104. That is a phenomenal body of work that screams consistency, durability, and skill in the longest format of the domestic game. He didn't just flash in the pan. He completely dominated over an extended period.
Out of those 104, an incredible 60 wickets came in the 2025-26 campaign alone. And those weren't just empty stats either. His bowling directly drove Jammu and Kashmir to their historic maiden Ranji Trophy triumph earlier this year. He was the literal spearhead of a championship-winning red ball team.
Nabi's roadmap to the Test squad is the exact blueprint that the BCCI wants to see. He had the domestic volume with 104 wickets. He had the peak performance with 60 wickets in a single season. He led his team to a championship. And crucially, when he got selected for the India A squad that recently toured Sri Lanka, he proved he could do it overseas, taking 6 wickets in 2 matches against Sri Lanka A in Gale. Nabi is the perfect example of how the brutal grind of the Ranji Trophy, backed up by A-tour performances, directly translates to a Test call-up today.
Section 5. High stakes in Sri Lanka. The World Test Championship horizon.
So the data here is pretty undeniable. India is currently sitting in 5th place in the WTC standings after 9 tests. They have 52 points and a points percentage of about 48%. For a team with India's pedigree, 5th place is dangerous territory. They need to climb this table, and they need to do it quickly.
A successful Sri Lanka tour is absolutely critical to significantly improve their standing and keep those WTC final hopes alive. India's search for answers to rediscover lost glory in tests begins right here in Colombo. And with spin expected to heavily dominate the proceedings in Galle, they desperately need a balanced playing 11. They need pacers who won't just make up the numbers, but who actually have the stamina and skill, honed in first-class cricket, to exploit whatever small windows of opportunity the conditions offer them.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought. Based on the ticking clock for Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the premium placed on Mohammad Shami's red ball miles, and the incredible rise of Auqib Nabi through pure first-class dominance, you really have to ask yourself, is the era of the T20 specialist officially dead for India's longer format ambitions? Has domestic grit in the Ranji Trophy finally and permanently eclipsed IPL stardom for national team selection? It certainly looks that way. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep an eye on how these domestic warriors perform on the big stage.
Hey,